Good evening. Please rise for the King's Anthem. Please be seated. Good evening. It is my great pleasure to welcome you, the families, friends, and teachers of the graduates who we will recognize tonight. Graduation ceremonies are a time for celebration and also a time for giving thanks. Tonight we will be celebrating a success on which you will build. For some of you, your next steps may already be determined. However, many of you may not yet know the direction your life will ultimately take. Over these past few weeks, I've seen your celebration and your enthusiasm for what you have accomplished. So I want to challenge you to take that enthusiasm out into the world and fulfill your goals. Tonight we will begin our evening with short presentations from two of our graduates. I'd like to invite Ms. Fong Takong-Suet and Mr. T.J. Kim to say a few words.
Good evening, esteemed teachers, honored parents, guests, and fellow graduates. On behalf of the class of 2018, I would like to say thank you to everyone who is celebrating this special day with us. Reminiscing about our time here at ISE, there are many words that can be used to express our feelings. Over the years, we had all overcome the challenges life threw at us, and it has not been easy. But today, we have reached the end of this chapter. I remember when everyone had to endure with the sleepless night, writing extended essays or studying for the upcoming exams, and cheering on one another when someone was going through a difficult time. Throughout the high school career, I believe that every one of us had our own obstacles to overcome. For me, as I grew up, a difficulty that I faced was trying to communicate clearly with the others. I was too shy and way too quiet to share my thoughts and feelings. Therefore, the first step that I took to come out of my shell was by joining the Model United Nations Club. I remember my first speech at MUN was very bad, and it doesn't turn out as I wanted. I was hesitant to speak and couldn't deliver the speech as well as I expected. But with the help of others and my own dedication, I was able to become confident and embrace new challenges. And today, I have built up my courage to speak in front of everyone. Before I end this speech, I truly believe that it is important to thank all the people who have been there for us along the way. To our parents, thank you for supporting us. Your love and guidance throughout the year was more than we could have asked for. To our teacher, thank you for sharing your time and talent with us. You all taught us a valuable lesson. To conclude, I want to share this quote with my friends whom I wish can have a great success in life. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you.
I recall when I was in 9th grade, watching a movie, when I clearly knew my lesson was to start in about 10 minutes. I was halfway through the movie, meaning that there was at least 30 minutes left, but the inner me declared that I finished it, just so that I could feel that little moment of accomplishment, that I made it in time. And so I began, rapidly skipping 10 seconds of the movie each time, and I ultimately managed to finish it in 8 minutes. If people asked me if I watched the movie, I was more than happy to say yes, because I saw the credits rolling. But if they asked me what I felt about the movie, I barely even remember the plot. After realizing my fatal error, I watched the movie, but this time without skipping. The name of the movie was Pursuit of Happiness. And by going slow with the movie and purely enjoying the movie for all the details it captured, within the hour and a half, it was just mesmerizing. And hence, to this day, the movie still stands to be one of my favorite. I'm no expert, but the movie suggests 2 ways of pursuing happiness. First of which was that to achieve true happiness, there always would need to be hardships in between. The reason why we need hardships in our lives is because it reminds us of how privileged we are and helps us realize the things that we have taken for granted. And for IB students especially, stress falls under the same category. Hence, all the stress from the rigorous material that we had to understand, as well as the projects we had to finish just the night before, because we procrastinated, all helps us cherish the stress-free environment that we are so used to, and learn to really enjoy those seemingly normal moments to our fullest. To sum up, to be happy, one must realize that there must be hardships, and it is our job to learn to embrace it, which leads to the second way, which is acceptance. Granted, we live in a society where results seems to be the ultimate purpose of everything. What grades we got at the end of the semester, how many CAS hours we completed, and most troubling, what university we got accepted to, all making it hard to accept what we have and be happy with it. People only look at the results and decide how much effort was put in, but fail to realize that the effort that we put over the years cannot be easily justified by who got into what university. But today, in this graduation, it is the time to accept ourselves and be truly happy by celebrating the efforts that aren't apparent through the names of the colleges or the grade point averages, but just the fact that we are all standing here today, because whatever it may have been, we're proudly graduating as the class of 2018. Thank you.
We decided to do something a little different this year, and we have invited an ISE alumnus to deliver our keynote address. Mr. Ton Sugawat graduated from ISE in 2008. He went on to study at Chulalongkorn University, where he graduated with high honors. Since that time, he has enjoyed a notable career in the Thai media industry and has ventured into a variety of entrepreneurial pursuits. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sugawat to the podium.
Thank you for having me here today. Just find my speech real fast. So it's great to be home, and first I'd like to thank Mr. Overreicher for inviting me to give his speech. It is a big day for you guys here on stage, no doubt, but it is also a significant day for me because it is my 10-year high school graduation anniversary. I'm Rick Ton Sugawat from the graduating class of 2008. Thank you, Jim. So, Usually guest speakers at graduations are much older and wiser than I am. They'll wish you well and give you general life advice depending on where they are from, and that may or may not apply to you. Except I'm from here, and I know exactly what it's like to be in your shoes. So I tried to write a speech that was nice and encouraging, but I changed my mind and I was like, look, I'm going to give you real life experience, and I'll lead by example. I'll show you what it's like in the next 10 years. So, let's begin with the slide. Number one is I was here a very, very long time ago, the reign of King Xiaomi and Queen Fedoric. That's what ISE looked like in 1994. I'm not in that picture, I came in 3 months afterwards, but Nikita is in that picture. This is a gentleman right there. And next slide, please. Next one. So I was in the basketball team, like I'm sure a lot of you are, thanks to whoever redesigned the jerseys, though. And next slide. Also the volleyball team. And the first Marissa's. We did not win, but we tried. So I graduated with the biggest graduating class at the time, 18 kids. And under a man that I'm sure loved ISE more than most, Mr. McDermott. What I'm trying to show you there is that, I'm just like you, and I know what it feels like to wear these colors, right? But I just give you some life lessons right here. Number one, perhaps it might apply to you just for today. It's to appreciate every day and give thanks. Because, truth be told, 95% of the people in this room you'll never see again after today. So when they come up to congratulate you, do give them a big thank you for being part of your journey. Next, please. So, I've heard one of the guys here, in the front row, say, I'm done with ISE. It's over for me today, and I'm out of here, right? And I felt the same way. But let me just tell you, the people here today, sitting with you, might be the guys sitting with you or standing next to you when you get married. They're probably going to be your best man. They're probably going to be your bridesmaid. Because you may have friends along the way as you grow older, university friends, work friends, but none are like the ones you grew up with. This is Tashina Chetterling right here, Nikita's little sister. And, everyone, all of my classmates that I talk to from time to time, if I ask them about high school, would you like to go back to high school? How was your life afterwards? I think everyone was like, I'd cut off my arm if I could time travel back to high school. I know you guys might have been stressed out about IB and all the work that was here, but trust me, it's going to get difficult when you grow up. And there's going to be higher highs, but there are going to be some tough times that you're going to have to be prepared for. I'd do anything to come back here, lay around on the court, licking Charlie pointing my head a little bit. So lesson number 2 is life doesn't care where you're from. It cares about who you are and what you're made of. Because truth be told, I'm from the middle of nowhere. I'm from ISE. People ask me where I'm from, it's not Patio. It's ISE. P.O. Box 6, that's where I'm from. And, I went out there to compete with a lot of people, and no matter where you go as an international school student, you're going to have to compete with some locals. Some local guys that know local things, right? You're going to be competing with locals at university and at your first job, your second job. That's how it's going to be. And at times we forget where home is. We feel like, look, people, all these guys have a bunch of friends, and it's just us out there. So we're going to have to try to get around that and build the connections, build the friends, and you gotta climb the ladder. So this is what I do for work, for example. Well, I started off being part of the national team, the rowing team. And then I went off to university, Chulalongkorn. I'm sure some of you are going to be entering that university real soon. Afterwards, I started the Chulalongkorn rowing team, which now gives out scholarships to students that would otherwise not have enough money to attend the most prestigious university in Thailand. Thammasat's also good for anyone that's from there. What I do is, this is my company. We produce beef jerky, Highlands beef jerky, and now we have production in Bangkok, and we sell that stuff nationwide. And this is me holding the microphone. So what I do on a daily basis is I speak, I read the news on this radio station called Met 107 FM in Radio Thailand. And so I speak to like 300, 400,000 people live every day. I am still nervous today because there's actually people here looking back at me. Other than that, I am also like a voice talent. I work for many companies, Singha, PTT, McDonald's, you name it, even the United Nations. And through another company that I started, I've been on every TV station there is to be on. Next one. And that's what my office looks like. It's just a bunch of friends hanging out, and we do whatever we do on Channel 9, media, TV, video, and all that. So the lesson here is you're set for success, which you must want to accept it. Like I said earlier, I'm from the middle of nowhere, right? I'm from ISE. To me, it's somewhere. To a lot of people, it's nowhere. I have to say I've been through a lot, and I have achieved a few things in my life. And I hope that you guys do too. Now, I'm not the best example. I'll tell you here now, there's one of the guys in our class, his name's Donald. He's building spaceships with Elon Musk and SpaceX, okay? And I want you guys to understand that, you guys are set for success. If you're sitting on this stage, you're better than 90% of the people out there when they graduate, okay? But what that means is, you're up there, you have room to fall, but you're gonna rise faster than others. I know some people that are very successful from our school, and others that have not tried as hard as they should. If you go out there and you get the normal job, that's okay. But I'm sure parents that are here today that have sweat blood to let us study here at this school are expecting a little bit more. So while you're out there partying and having fun, and you should, okay, when you're in university life, do stay on target. Do make sure that you know what the goal is. Always have that in mind. Experience life, but stay on track. So life will take from you, and you need to have strength to remember that your people are there for you and never give up. So, I don't normally talk about this, but just because I feel like I'm home, I'm just gonna be pretty honest. About 365 days after I graduated, after I sat where you guys sit today, my mother was in a car accident, okay? And she got traumatic brain injury. It's been 9 years, and she hasn't been the same ever since. She's better, she's not the same. But at the time, I was 19 years old, or maybe 18, and everything was provided for me. I had a nice school, we had food, we had clothes, we had somewhere to be, right? And to live. Now, just that one day, that one instant when my mother had her car accident, everything changed. How was I supposed to provide food for my family? How was I supposed to get money to go to college? Everything changed in one day. And I know people that have gone through bad things in life, and they've given up. They've turned to drugs. They've turned to bad people, and they've turned to bad habits. And you can't do that sometimes, because you always have to remember, I hope your case will never be as extreme as mine, but you have to remember that people will depend on you in the future. So, you may feel like, I got some time, I can slack off, or, I can just chill out for a couple of years. If anyone's planning to do that, do stay on track. To keep those skills up, because you are privileged, okay? And lastly, have good character. I've been out there in the world for 10 years, and I've realized that, not a lot of people out there are as nice as the people here at ISE. Like I said, I've been here since pre-K, so this is the only home I knew. Now, people are nice here. Maybe sometimes you have arguments or whatnot. But in the real world, there's going to be people that are going to be there to take from you. They may not care who you are, if they're your friends or whatnot. There are some pretty evil people out there. And I think what you need to remember is our upbringing. And the people here and how they love you and how they, reared you up real well to have good character. It's the most important thing. If you go out there and you meet bad people, and you will, and you let them chip away from your character, then you're going to disappoint a lot of people. That are sitting in this room. Let me tell you, one day I had an argument with someone after my company was being cheated on for multiple times. I said nothing in God's green earth will stop me from just physically beating this guy up today. Okay, nothing. I lost it. And that's an example of what not to do, okay? Now, there's one thing that stopped me. When I went out there, and there were 3 people. I didn't know 2 of them. I was so mad that, I just saw red. Everything was red, and I went out there and said, nothing will stop me from just ending this right here, right now. But you know what did? One of the kids there, one of the guys standing there, said, "Piton." Hello, Tone. And I said, "So who are you?" He said, I forgot his name. He said his name, and he said he was from ISE, and that he was a friend of one of the Sangarans. And at that point, I stopped. And I thought, who am I? Okay? Who am I and how was I brought up? And I remember my upbringing, remember ISE, and how I should have conducted myself at that particular moment. And I never laid hands on anyone because of that. See, people out there are going to take away from your character and who you are and how you were programmed. But you have to remember who you are. Remember your colors. Blue, gold, right? We're not sharks. We're not pigs. We're not snakes. We're eagles. Thank you.
summer, and the snow outside the first night. I just wanted my name and star. Now look at where we at, still growing up, still growing up. I'm laying my bed and dreaming about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get older, couldn't wait to be summer. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still here. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your heart's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that glass first. Wish I made it to homecoming. Got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would've gotten out of my shell. Wish I put the bottle back on that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what the people thought. I felt comfortable with myself. Rooftop open, and the stars above. Moon falls and sneaking out and falling in love. Me, you, and I feel too. We just begun. On the grass dreaming, figuring out who I was. That's good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your heart's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Never thought we'd get old. Maybe we're still young. Maybe you always look back and think it was better than it was. Maybe these are the moments. Maybe I've been missing what it's about. Been scared of the future, thinking about the past. While I'm missing out on now. We've come so far. I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried, not worried, 'cause we're almost smile. I got some scars. I've been around. I know some pain and say some things, but I'm here now. Let's go.
You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. I wish somebody would've told me, babe, someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your heart's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
I would now like to welcome Ms. Lily Conkerpet and Mr. Justin Bossett to say a few words.
My fellow classmates, a chapter in our lives has just ended. The journey that we have experienced to reach here today has been an emotional roller coaster ride for all of us. It would be a lie if I said this journey was an easy one. During these past few years, we have encountered many obstacles that helped us grow into who we are today. We have learned from our mistakes and as well from others. In the beginning of this journey, we were still carefree and curious about the world. We learned more about the world and ourselves with our parents' help. Our parents would hold us by our hands and help build a path for us to follow, guiding us where to go. We have now reached a certain point in our lives where we can't depend on our parents anymore. Our parents may not be by our side, holding our hands, but they would always be there for us, behind us, ready to catch us when we fall. The path in front of us is up to us now. Which path we will take and who we will become is up to us. However, our journey doesn't end here. In fact, our journey has just begun. There is still a long, unpredictable road ahead of us. The future is an uncertain path that we all must take. What we will come across may be happiness, hardships, success, failures, and the possibilities of what might happen. When you come across happiness, cherish it and remember those moments, because those memories will help you in times of sadness. Once you come across hardships, remember that there is always an end to it. Life is full of twists and turns into an unknown direction. We won't know which direction this unknown path will take us. But as long as we're confident and determined, we will be able to find a way. As Stephen Hawking once said, however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. Thank you.
Picture this. ISE is engulfed in flames, and there's only time to go back and save one item. What do you decide to rescue? Although it's assured that this year's graduating class, the most diverse and accomplished in ISE history, would give very different answers. The funny thing is that we all be saving the exact same thing, a memory. 13 years at ISE leaves these halls chock full of memories. So many choices. But if I had to choose from just one memory, to save just one memory from the fire, I know exactly which one I'd save. Let me take you back to 2009. Some of you may remember the climbing wall that once graced the hilltop overlooking the field. I remember the first time that we were allowed to climb that wall. I stood in the climbing wall's wake, looking up at the bell on the top, itching to ring that little golden bell that was perched right at the top. I remember Mr. R, or Mr. Robinson, as some of you may know him as, taking my hand and telling us to grip each of the holds on the wall, the stepping stones to our goals, very carefully and with purpose. I remember scaling that wall for the first time, the sense of accomplishment, and the joy I felt when I rang the bell for all to know that I, Justin Peter Pudisit, had conquered the ISE climbing wall. I remember these feelings fading as I let go of the bell and had to climb back down. I remember this moment not for any particular attachment to this climbing wall, although I will remember it fondly, but because it was one of the first moments in my life that I realized that letting go was just the natural ending of any journey. In the next few days and in coming months, my fellow graduates will be letting go of a lot of things. Family, friends, homes, and dreams, in the flurry of made and not made choices that we will make. In the coming years, the 32 young men and women on the stage will drift apart. But one day, we'll remember the moments we had here, and it will mean something very different. At some memories, we'll cringe and laugh, and others will brim with pride, aching for its return. At others, we'll notice some detail hidden in the background, a future landmark making its first appearance, or discreetly taking its final bow. The memories are just that, just memories. You cannot dip your feet into the same river twice, just as you cannot relive the same memory again. But you can always remember the moments along this journey we call life. Graduation is like one of those moments that seem so far off until it's really not, like marriage or buying your first car. Time moves faster, but I think our time moves even faster. One moment you'll be holding baby Jen, baby Katya, baby TJ, or maybe even baby Justin, in a warm wool blanket. And the next you'll be sitting at their high school graduation, maybe even listening to one of their friends talk to you in a silly blue robe. Boda, or bonne in Korean. Jiyu ni habatakimasu in Japanese. Boiwan in Thai. Apustit in Russian. There are many ways that my classmates may express the concept of letting go. But I'd like to share with you one of my favorite poems that I think articulates this concept quite poignantly. He who binds to himself the joy, does the winged life destroy? He who kisses the joy as it flies, lives in eternity's sunrise. ISE is on fire. What do you save? That's up for you to decide. And the good news is, you can save all you want. Thank you.
Now we've come to the time in our ceremony where we recognize our graduates. These young people on stage have completed all the requirements for graduation as set forth by the International School Eastern Seaboard's Board of Directors. In so doing, they will now receive their high school diplomas. We have the pleasure tonight of recognizing one of our graduates who will complete the requirements for graduation at the end of his grade 11 year. I would like to first call Tanwa Fumisiti-kun to receive his diploma. Next year, Bill will be attending Thammasat University in Bangkok to study engineering. For our grade 12 students, we have a tradition at ISE of calling student names in order of the length of time that they've been with us. We kindly ask that you hold your applause until all of the graduates have received their diplomas. Ryota Ijima. Ryota will be returning to Japan to study business or economics at Asia Pacific University. It's fine, you can applaud. Frederick Toft Repsdorf. Frederick will return to Denmark to study global economics at Slotshaven. Yuki Shiotsuka. Yuki will return to Japan to study at the University of Tokyo. Shuto Shimohashi. Shuto plans to return to Japan to study information engineering. Gyu-yan Oh. Gyu-yan is planning to attend the University of Amsterdam to study business. Minjin Han. Minjin will be applying to universities and taking entrance tests this summer in Korea. She would like to attend Hanyang University in Seoul to study bioengineering. Tae-wook Kim. Harry will be returning to Seoul, Korea, where he plans to study to be a voice actor. Julianne Kyle Villanueva Lau. Kyle will attend Assumption University in Bangkok, where he plans to study mass communications. Sirada Siyutaisiriwang. Opal has been accepted into the Communication Design program at King Mongkut University of Technology in Bangkok. Eureka Teramoto. Eureka plans to return to Japan to study in an international program. Shunsuke Fujita. Shunsuke is returning to Japan and plans to study chemistry and physics. Yokao Crick. Jade plans to attend university in Australia. Andrew Mortimer. Andrew hopes to pursue a career in the music industry. Jung-Hyu Che. JG will be returning to Korea to study architecture at Sejong University. Yona Che. Yona will study classical music performance at Mahidol University in Bangkok. Jinwoo Che. Jinwoo is returning to Korea to study video editing. Kent Noda. Kent will be returning to Japan and plans to attend Okayama University to study pharmacy. Owen Wang. Mark plans to attend university in Thailand and study business. Sergei Gavrilenko. Sergei is planning to attend Assumption University to study business. Pawan Limpatong. B plans to attend Thammasat University in Bangkok to study engineering. Yekaterina Labanova. Katya will travel to Rotterdam, Netherlands to study International Business Administration at Erasmus University. Kanika Widget. Phone plans to study business at Mahidol or Thammasat University in Bangkok. Kyung-hee Woo. Kyung-hee will be applying to universities and taking entrance tests this summer in Korea. He would like to attend Chung-Ang University in Seoul to study chemical and materials engineering. Hiraya Takansuet. Fong plans to study dentistry or medicine at Rangsit University in Bangkok. Wei Chen Shu. Andy will travel to the U.S. to study at Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana. Joshua Van Beek. Josh will be returning to Canada to study business at Niagara College. Hee Kyung Ko. Jen will attend Seoul National University or Hong Kong University to study biological science and engineering. Daejung Kim. study mechanical or biochemical engineering at Seoul National University. Anantaya Topanit. Ern plans to attend Mahidol or Thammasat University to study business and English communication. Justin Potterson. Justin has been accepted into the honors program at the University of Notre Dame to study liberal arts. Kamanat Kongkapet. Lulu will be attending Thammasat University to study dentistry. And last but not least, Neil Madhavadeva Overocker. Neil is planning to travel to Colorado in the U.S. Let's give our graduates all one final round. Tonight is also a time for thanking those who have helped you reach this milestone. Please join me in a round of applause for the teachers, friends, and family who have supported and cared for you along your journey. Our graduates would like to take a few moments now to present a small token of appreciation to their families. So front row, go off to the right. Jimmy?
Này cái gì ạ? Làm mấy cái này.
Graduates, when you finish, can you please return to the stage?
เสร็จ อีก
Graduates, would you please stand? You may now move your tassel to the left side. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to present to you International School Eastern Seaboard's class of 2018. Congratulations! This concludes our program tonight. Thank you all so much for coming. Please join us on the terrace for refreshments.